Okay, if you're a creator, you know this feeling, right? You pour your heart and soul into making something great. You hit publish, and then you have to fight for every single second of attention. Well, today, we're gonna break down how to win that fight. And I'm not talking about cheap tricks. I'm talking about a really powerful strategy.
I mean, it's the question that keeps us all up at night, isn't it? You know your content has value, but it just feels like you're shouting into an endless feed of noise. And here's the tough truth. Quality alone just isn't enough anymore to stop the scroll or keep an earbud in. The problem isn't your content, it's your doorway.
And this is the core idea we're exploring today. Let's totally reframe how we think about this. A hook isn't some sleazy, clickbaity tactic. No, it's a threshold. Think of it like that. It's a genuine invitation to come on in, to step into the world you've built. It's that critical moment where you earn the right to someone's time. So when you see it as a doorway, the whole goal changes. You're not trying to trap an audience, you're trying to welcome them in. And you know what? That mindset shift is everything. It builds trust from the absolute first second. You're making a promise that what's inside is going to be worth their attention. Okay, so let's get a super clear definition on the table. What is a hook? Simple. It's that very first point of contact. It could be the opening line, the first frame they see, or that first note of music. It's your one chance to make a first impression and convince someone that this journey is absolutely worth taking with you.
All right, let's get practical. Let's open up the toolkit, starting with the craziest, fastest-paced environment of them all, social media. On platforms like TikTok, Reels, and Shorts, you have one job, and only one job, right at the start. Stop the scroll. And guess what? You've got about 2 seconds to do it. That's it.
So let's look at these different styles. What's so cool is how each one hits a different psychological trigger. That instant question, bam, it creates a curiosity gap they just have to fill. The stop pattern interrupt, it literally jolts someone out of that mindless scrolling trance. A big, bold visual at the start, that can earn you precious extra seconds, just because our brains process images way faster than text. And that watch till the end tease, that opens a little loop in their brain that they'll feel compelled to close. It's pretty smart stuff. Okay, so how do you actually use these on social? A few key things. First, please use text on the screen. So many people are watching with the sound off. Second, match your energy to the message. If it's an urgent hook, you gotta bring that urgent energy. And finally, never ever forget that 2-second rule. You've gotta be fast, clear, and super direct.
Okay, let's shift gears now. We're moving from the super fast world of social to long-form video, like what you see on YouTube. The game is a little different here. You're not just trying to stop a scroll anymore, you're trying to hold their attention. The new goal? Secure their commitment for the first 15 seconds. That is the magic window where people decide if they're in or out.
And you can see the strategy is different here. You can promise the payoff, which is just directly telling the viewer what they're gonna get. Something like, by the end of this, you will know how to. Then there's the contrarian statement, which is awesome. You say something that challenges what they believe, and it makes them go, wait, what? I have to hear this. A highlight reel cold open is another great one. You show the best, most exciting part right up front. It makes them want to see how you got there. Or you can plant a quick story seed with a hint of conflict that just makes them want to know what happens next.
And here's some advice, and I'm practically begging you here. Please skip the long, fancy logo intro. Just get straight to the hook. Every single second counts. Use your editing, your music, your visuals. Make them all work together to deliver on that opening promise. Just remember the goal. You've got 15 seconds to convince them your content is worth the next 10 minutes of their life.
And finally, let's talk about audio. This one is maybe the most intimate of all. For podcasts or any audio-first content, someone is literally letting you into their head, you know? They're giving you their attention while they drive or work out. So your hook has to earn their time. You need to convince them right up front that this is the best thing they could be listening to. And you've got about 30 seconds to do it.
With audio, you've got to deliver that value instantly. A guest soundbite cold open is killer for this. You drop the listener right into the best, most shocking moment before any intros. It proves the value up front. Or try a focused question, one that really makes them think and gets them invested in finding the answer with you. A bold data or fact is also great. It establishes credibility and shows why the topic is so important. And of course, the mini story cliffhanger. Who can resist finding out what happens next? So how do you apply this? It's all about finding that one golden nugget from your recording and putting it right at the very, very top. Yeah, even before your intro music. You have to immediately answer that question that's in every single listener's head. Why should I care? Answer that loud and clear in the first 30 seconds, and you've earned their time.
Okay, so we've gone through a ton of tactics, right? For social, for video, for audio. But honestly, what's even more important than any one technique is the philosophy behind it all. Because a great hook isn't just about being effective. It has to be authentic. It has to feel like you.
Think of these as your guiding principles, your North Star for creating hooks. First, and this is the big one, lead with truth, not tricks. Your hook has to be an honest promise of what's to come. No bait and switch. Second, you want to invite, not demand. It's a gentle pull, not a hard push. And finally, make that opening a whole experience. The words, the visuals, the sound, it should all work together to say, come on in.
And this quote just brings it all home, doesn't it? Honor the threshold. I love that. You have to treat that first moment of contact with respect. Your job as a creator is to build a doorway that's so interesting and so honest that people are actually excited to step through, because they trust that what you have on the other side is going to be absolutely worth their time.
So, let's recap real quick. We've talked about the why, that endless fight for attention. We've defined the what, seeing the hook as a threshold. And we've gone through the how with all those toolkits. But look, all this theory is useless without action, right? So the big question now is, what's your next step? How do you actually start doing this?
All right, so here's your mission. It's super simple. Step 1, just pick one hook style we talked about today, anyone that feels right. Step 2, adapt it, make it sound like you. Step 3, test it, use it on your very next piece of content. And step 4, and this is maybe the most important part, look at your data. But don't just look at views, look at your watch time or your listen through rate. That's where you'll see if the hook is really working.
At the end of the day, every single thing you create is an opportunity. It's a chance to open a new doorway for somebody. A doorway to a new idea, a new way of thinking, maybe even a new story. So the only real question left to ask is, what doorway will you open next?